Hey guys, it's Steve here from stevepigottmusic.com, and today we're going to look at some more Dire Straits. The other two videos I did about Dire Straits, I did the Tunnel of Love solo and the Sultans of Swing solo. On the back of those, there were quite a few requests for more Dire Straits things, especially dealing with the fills and licks that Mark Knopfler likes to put in so beautifully in the verses and chorus, the fills throughout the song. So we're going to look at that now for Sultans of Swing. We're going to take the intro and verse 1. Okay. Quick word about the chords here. It's basically in D minor, with only one chord that's out of the key, which is that A7. So you're going to be pretty safe most of the time playing in D minor and then adjusting one note. For those theory people out there, you're sort of going a bit harmonic minor, D harmonic minor for that, for the bit where the A is there. But what that basically means in practice is, well, you'll see one note changes sometimes from the D minor scale. Okay, the chords simply go D minor, C, B flat, A7. Okay, that happens twice. Yep, twice. After an intro, which is sort of holds the D minor for a little while in the main sort of intro bit. And then the second part, it goes to F. The band was playing Dixie, double 4 times, C. Okay. B flat. When you feel alright when that music plays. Back D minor again. Which is B flat, C. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So we're going D minor, D minor, C, B flat, A7, F. The band was playing Dixie, C, B flat. Feel alright when that music plays. D minor, and then B flat to C, and then back to the first sequence again. So those are the chords, quite simple, but very effective. And here's the lick. Okay, the intro lick, which is over a held D minor. By the way, all this info is going to be in the tab below, so just click below and you'll get it. That first lick, got my first finger on the 5th fret of the G string. I pluck it twice and then hammer on to the 7th fret. So I pluck it 3 times and hammer on to the 7th fret. And then I slide from the 5th fret of the D string to the 7th fret. And then I play the 7th fret of the G string. So that bit. Next part of the lick. 7th fret of the D string, 6th fret of the B string, and 7th fret of the G string. So all together so far. And then we rake down this D minor shape on the 7th of the G string, 6th of the B string, and then we land on the 5th of the E string like this. I'm raking, I'm allowing the sort of weight, putting a bit of weight in my hand and allowing that to drag down the strings, and I'm taking my fingers off just soon after I've hit each note. So as soon as I'm moving past that 7th fret or the G string, I'm removing my ring finger, because I don't want this. I don't want a full chord, I want a rake, where the notes kind of cut off as I go along. In fact, it would be better, I think, just to even, rather than have a chord, it would be just better to have dead notes. That would be a better compromise than having a chord, really. I think if we want to get it close. And then it goes to the 8th fret of the E string, 5th fret of the E string, and then 6th fret of the B string. And then we're going to pluck the 5th fret of the B string, hammer onto the 6th fret and pull off again, and land on the 7th fret of the G string. So that whole bit. Okay, so then it goes into the verse. There's a shiver in the dark, it's so lonely in the park, it means that, right? And then the lick that follows there is a bend from the 4th fret up into that 6th fret of the G string, with a little dip in it. So you just bend up, dip, and then go back up again. And we're bending, by the way, this is just a tiny theory note, we're bending into the major third of that A7. Which isn't a normal note to find in D minor. Normally, that C sharp would be a C natural. But because we've altered the 5 chord to make it a dominant chord, put a major third in there with the flat 7 to increase the pull from the 5 to the 1, and we've changed one note of the scale. It only changes over that chord, but there you go. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, that's completely fine. I'm just dropping in there in case some of you guys know about that stuff. So that's the first thing, and then there's another lick over that at the next A7 chords. Goes like this. You're sliding into the 6th fret of the G string, and then you're playing the 5th fret of the E string, and just going between them with a specific rhythm. Okay, that's that lick. And then you got this part. The band was playing Dixie, double 4 time. And then you have this little lick here. So what we're doing there is, Mark Knopfler, as we talked about in all the other videos, he uses his fingers pretty much. I don't do that all the time. I like to use pick and fingers, myself. But I often will, even though I've got a pick in my hand, I'll be using my fingers to pluck the notes just to get that finger style spank, that get a bit closer to Mark. But in this case you have to do that. You have to play all 3 notes at the same time. So I'm playing if you're a Mark, then just grab it all, thumb, finger, and just and you do it that way. You put a thumb on one string and each of these fingers on the other strings. In this case, I'm doing the same thing with the pick. So I'm picking the D string, and I've got my ring finger and my middle finger assigned to the G and B strings, and I'm letting go of that. I'm barring across the 5th fret, across the D, G, and B strings, and letting go of it straight or quite quickly after I've hit it, like that, to get that staccato kind of spank to it, rather than this. I'm not using this hand to mute it, I'm using this hand to unclench slightly and relaxing my finger to mute it. So you squeeze that once, squeeze again. Now I'm laying my middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string, my pinky on the 7th fret of the G string, and my ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. And I pluck that twice. Pull off. So I'm plucking it twice, pulling off to the 5th fret bar, and then I'm going down to a 3rd fret bar. So the whole thing. The band was playing Dixie, double 4 time. The next lick. Okay, so we're sliding from the 5th fret of the D string to the 7th fret, playing the 7th fret of the G string, back to the D string, 6th fret of the B string, and then 7th fret of the G string. Okay, barring the 3rd fret across the 3 strings like before. My pinky then reaches out to the 6th fret of the B string, play the bar again, twice, and then slide into the 5th fret bar. So that goes, see that? Then we slide the pinky into the 5th fret. This is the next part of the lick, by the way. We slide the pinky into the 5th fret from the 3rd fret of the D string, and then we walk up like that from from the second to the third to then a little hammer on or grace note into the 5th fret of the G string. Okay, and that's as far as we've got in the song at the moment. I think in the performance I did a little, little lick just to finish off because it was the end of the section, but that's not in the original music. So there you go. All that stuff's in the tab below. It's really, really tasty stuff, tasty licks, all around this kind of D minor shape, chord, and really, really nice things. So enjoy that, and like and comment below if you liked the video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Tabs below, check it out.